In this video, we are going to discuss about system architecture. So before going to system architecture, can we discuss one topic? Like now we prepared one application. So the application purpose is we prepared one application for the one of the college. So students are going to register by using this application. At the same time, management is going to see the student information by using this application. In this case, the application is providing option to the user to fill the form, and it is provided an option to college management to view the registered student information. Okay, so the application whatever we prepare, it is the combination of the three layers. Okay, we can divide the application into three layers. One is the presentation layer, second one is the business layer, third one is persistence layer. Okay, let's talk about the presentation layer. Presentation layer, so the students are going to browse this application in the browser. So once they browse this application, it is going to display one student registration form. So they are going to fill all the details and going to click the submit button. So whatever the user able to see, that we are going to call as presentation layer. Once the user click the submit button, it is going to register the business layer. In case of the business layer, we are going to add some of the logics, like some validation. We need to check whether the student is enter the email, valid email or not. Is the mobile number is the valid mobile number or not? Like that, based on the organization definition, we are going to apply some of the rules in the business layer. So if everything is the validations is passed, then we are going to store this information into the database. So for storing the data in the database, we are going to interact the database. To interact the database, we are going to have the persistence layer. So okay, so now whenever the student click the submit button, so that is the presentation layer, it is going to business layer. Then after business layer perform the all the validation, then it is hand out to the persistence layer. Then persistence layer save the database data in the database. So this is the application we prepare. Now our application is development is completed. Now what we have to do, we have to deploy this application in somewhere, then only the application is available to use it, right? Okay, now we are planning to deploy this application. So whenever you are planning to deploy this application, you need to decide which type of the system architecture is suitable to your application, right? So once you prepare the application, that is our responsibility. Based on our application requirement, based on our application need, we supposed to identify what type of architecture is suitable to our application. Okay, so if you want to decide what type of architecture is suitable to your application, you need to understand what is system architecture and how many types we have and which one is suitable in which area. Okay, that we are going to cover in this video. I hope you guys are clear about what is the application layers. Okay, now if you come to the types, in this case we have the three types. One is the one tier architecture, two tier architecture, third one is the entire architecture. Maybe we can call this, I mean, three tier architecture or entire architecture. So in the, let's coming to the second one tier architecture. So now we discuss about the what is an application. The application is a combination of the three layers: presentation layer, business layer, persistence layer. So now is, if you combine all the layers in a single unit, or if you deploy these three layers in a single mission. Okay, in one tier architecture, whatever the layers we are going to have for any application, if you deploy the three layers in a single mission, so in the single mission, so that type of architecture we are going to call one tier architecture. Okay, so first point, one tier architecture is the simplest form of the software architecture. Why it is simple? So we are going to maintain all the layers in the single mission. Okay, where all the components and application are integrated in a single layer. That means whatever, I mean, the application is categorized into three categories: presentation layer, business layer, persistence layer. So if you combine these three layers in a single application or single layer or system, in a single system, okay, you are going to deploy all these three layers in a single system. That architecture we are going to call a one-tier architecture. So in this model, there is no separation between the presentation, business, and persistent. So that's what, right? So there is no separation. We are deploying all the layers in a single mission. So where it is useful, okay, where it is useful, where we are going to follow this one-tier architecture. So it is suitable for the standalone application, not for the enterprise application or distributed applications. What is meaning of the standard application? What is the meaning of the enterprise and distributed application? Standalone application means, let's say an example. Everyone, we have the desktop. In the desktop we have the Microsoft Office, Notepad plus plus. Everything will be available in the our Windows system itself only. Such type of applications we can call standalone applications. But in case of the enterprise application, distributed application means, so if you are using net banking, or if you are using any medical related applications or mobile apps, APKs, so those are all the distributed application, or those are the enterprise application. So if you are building any enterprise application, that is not suitable for the one tier architecture. One tier architecture is only suitable for the standalone application. Standalone applications means, so the example is Microsoft Office on Notepad plus plus. Okay, then next, two tier architecture. So in case of the one tier architecture, we deployed three layers in a single mission. But in case of the two tier architecture, we separated persistence layer to another mission. That means one mission it is going to contain the presentation layer and business layer, and second mission it is going to contain the persistence layer. Okay, we divided. So by dividing this one, what is the use? By dividing this one, we distributed the load in the two missions. That means the performance of the application will be increased. Okay, you can see. So the two-tier system is where the application divided into two main parts. Yes, we divide into two main parts. One is the client tier, another one is the server tier. Okay, in the client tier, this is a user facing part of the application. User facing part of the application means, previously we discussed one concept, right? Student registration. So whatever the form the student able to visible, that is we are going to call user facing part. Okay, it handles the user interface, UI, that is the UI, and some of the application laws. So whenever the user submit the button, it is going to reach the business layer. There we are going to perform the some application log. Okay, so then server part. So once everything is completed in the business layer, then it is going to hand over to the persistence layer. So persistence layer is going to exist in the separate server, separate mission. Then it will perform, it will going to interact with the database and store the information. So by using this architecture, it will, our application will work on the, we won't face any performance problems. Okay, so where we are going to use two-tier architecture, if your application is suitable for the only minimal users, like the, if the load is very less, then we are going to choose this application, this architecture. Third one is the three-tier architecture. In case of the three-tier architecture, we have the three layers we are going to deploy in the three missions. That is the three-tier architecture. Okay, where we are going to use this three-tier architecture. So like if you are working with, in many, in current IT sector, everyone will follow the entire architecture. That means I mean, first initially it is a three-tier architecture only. Then after we are going to increase the missions based on the load. So let's say an example: presentation layer, business layer, persistence layer. These three are divided into the three servers. Okay. So if the load increases, we need to increase the one more business layer. That means we are going to add the one more mission for the business layer, and we'll route the traffic to two business layer servers, and the business layer server is going to interact with the persistence layer. Based on the load, we are able to achieve the scalability by using these three or entire architecture. Okay. Three-tier architecture is a software design pattern that separate an application to three distinct layers. Okay. It is a three distinct layer, right? Each with a specific responsibility. The separation helps in managing complexity, improving scalability, enhancement, and maintaining. So complexity means now you are making one change in the presentation layer. That means you don't want to worry about the business and persistence layer. You can simply modify anything whatever you want in the presentation layer. So if you go to the one tier or two tier, so if you are working with the presentation layer, definitely it is going to affect on the remaining two layers also. Okay, the next one is the scalability. In case of the one tier and two tier, scalability not not much possible. Why? Because if the load is increasing only for the uh, validation part like business layer, then we can increase the server. We can distribute the multiple users are filling the forms, like 100 users are filling the form. Then business layer is taking the too much of time to perform the validation, and it is taking around let's say an example, I am receiving the 100 requests. Business uh, mission is taking too much of time to process the 100 requests at a time. So that way I'm increase the one more server, business layer. So my presentation layer will forward the request to the business layer one mission, business layer two mission, in the round robin pattern. So that we will increase the performance, we will reduce the performance. And that means if you are increasing the servers based on the load, that we can call as a scalability. Second, each layer has a distinct role, making the system easier to manage inertia. That means every layer it is has own responsibility. Presentation layer it is going to contain only the UI logic only. In case of the business, it is going to have the only the validation part. And persistence, it is going to contain only the database performance of. Okay. So we discussed different layers can be scaled independently to handle increased load or complexity. For example, you can scale the data layer separately for the business layer logic. That means, so based on the application status, that means, so if the load is in, I mean, now we have the three types of machines. We can identify where the load is high. Is it the business layer or persistence layer? Based on the load, you can you can scale the servers. You can increase the servers, number of servers. Okay. Change in one layer do not necessarily impact on the other layers. So that means if you perform, like I have one issue in the business layer, that means I received I have one bug in the presentation layer. So if you have one bug in the presentation layer, you are going to deploy one new patch in presentation layer. That means you no need to worry about the remaining two layers. You can work independently here. Okay, similarly other two also. Different technologies can be used for the each layer, following great flexibility and choose in implementation. That means presentation layer that is going to deploy that is going to develop by using the Angular, React, or whatever you want. That is a different technology. So the persistence layer is going to be maybe in case of this Java, different frameworks we can use. And it is going to be business layer, we are going to use the .NET or Java, whatever you want. Different technologies it is going to support. Okay. So entire architecture means, so based on the load we are going to increase the number of servers, that is up to the business rules, that we are going to call entire architecture. But here the important fact is, so the increasing of the submissions is not a suggestible. Based on your requirement, based on application load, we need to choose how many missions we supposed to increase. Why? Because each mission is the chargeable, so that is a cost. So we need to be decide which one is suitable, which how many servers are need to be increased, like that. So let's say if you take a Flipkart, so in some cases they are going to announce the big billion days or like offers. In that case, most number of users is going to use the Flipkart application. That time, what they are going to do? So they are going to increase the number of servers on the respective period. Then once the sale is completed, they are going to remove the servers. That means it is a scalability. So based on the requirement, based on the load, it need to increase the servers. Once the load is done, we need to remove the servers. So in case of the three-tier architecture only, we can achieve this scalability. Okay, most of the applications will follow the three-tier or entire architecture only. Okay, I hope you understand this video. Thank you for watching my video.